Turner lines one out toward left center field.
Coming up tonight, back at the bank. The Phils looking to shake the road woes with 7 straight back at home.
It's an RBI double for Trey Turner.
Plus, a sour season ends for the Sixers.
Victory over the Sixers.
I was very focused on finding veteran-type players who generally perform very well in the playoffs.
What went wrong for a team with championship aspirations?
The long journey is over.
And a masterful performance by McElroy. What sports moments got you the most emotional?
Being a golfer myself, yesterday brought back great memories of Tiger winning his last Masters back in 2019.
What time is it?
It's time to get fantastic.
From Fox 29 News, this is the Phantastic Sports Show.
Hello, hi, good evening, and welcome into the Fantastic Sports Show. Jason is off, so Jamie, you get the big seat today.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I feel so special. Where's Jason? Somewhere tropical?
Yeah.
I hope not.
No, we're just hanging out.
Jealous.
You know what? Like, I'm not jealous of him.
Forget him.
We're having ourselves a time today because Jamie, it's a Jamie Pody Monday. Jam,
baby.
Yeah, let's go. So here is what is on deck tonight. We've got a little hodgepodge. I feel like we're talking and hitting on everything tonight. So the Phils kicked off that series against the Giants. So we're going to get into that. Sixers season has blessedly come to a close. So we're going to talk about that as well. And the Masters. I'm sorry if you watched the Masters yesterday and did not have a little something going on, like someone was cutting onions. You're not human.
I cried.
Yeah.
I'm a crier, though.
Yeah.
It happens.
But it was so awesome to see.
It was great.
And we need to get into, other moments kind of like that in sports. So, guys, we got a great show for you here. Jam-packed as well on this Jamie Pody Monday. If you would like to weigh in, Jamie, give the good people the number.
Oh, here we go. Please call us, 215-915-PHAN, or head to fox29.com and upload us some videos. We want to see them.
Selfie-style video, s'il vous plaît. And you can see yourself on the Fantastic Sports Show. But we are going to start things off with Phillies coming up after the break.
You can take a look at the bat that he's using. He's using the Victus bat, the blue bat. Well, guess what? That blue bat arrived at the ballpark today. It was given to him by Trey Turner because they have just revealed the gender of the Harper's next child.
Really?
Yeah.
Another gender reveal.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Becoming a trend.
I think it's a very novel way of doing it.
Pretty
So
cool.
Congratulations to Bryce and Kayla.
Yes, absolutely. Congratulations to Bryce and Kayla. They are right, though. This is becoming a little bit of a trend because Trey Turner just did one for Phillies fans. What was that, last week or so? He had the pink armband, right?
Right. No, it's cute. I think it's really neat. And Trey talked about it after the game.
Yeah.
About how he kind of messed with Bryce a little bit in the dugout and handed him a pink bat first. And he's like, I knew it was a girl. I knew it was a girl. And he's like, no, man, actually. And he gave him the blue one. It's a neat way to do things. I did something like that with our third. We did the exploding baseball.
Yeah.
It was scary because my husband swung and missed the first time. That was bad. It was an underhand pitch.
That would have been just terrible.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Like what a gaffe if it just. But it was neat to see it explode blue, and we were surprised.
Yeah.
And I like those gimmicks.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I wish they wouldn't have lost the way that they did, but
Right? Went away like, yay!
yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah. So I mean, it was cute here and there, but as we get things teed up, Jamie,
What's wrong?
Taiwan Walker.
Are you okay?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
He looked so great for the first couple of outings, and especially his mom was there the other night, and when he played very, very well, and she cried, and Rob Thompson was really, really complimentary of him and talked about how hard he's been working and stuff. And then I thought maybe he's turning the corner, and then tonight.
He's still Taiwan Walker.
Yeah.
That wasn't right of me.
No.
Listen, I mean, I guess there's something to be said for regression to the mean, right?
Yeah,
and,
that's true.
He did. He looked good, and then the Phil spotted him 3 runs too, so that was all good, and then it all went downhill from there.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just a blip. Who knows? But again, he's not supposed to be the long-term solution anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
Right?
Yeah. I just thought maybe I'm like, oh, maybe that he's turning the corner. Maybe this is his season, especially after last year and everything. And, I do have to give him his flowers. Every single time he has an outing like this, and all last year, he stood up in that clubhouse. And, he absolutely owns it. And I've always respected him for that fact. But, brother, this was bad tonight.
Down to the air when he was... When he threw it in his center field. That was something you don't see at Little League games.
No. Somebody that did at least have a solid game, Nick Castellanos, though.
Yeah, he's playing well. He seems to be like the only answer in the outfield right now, which is kind of crazy. Another bomb for him, and he's been mixing it up with fans lately and all sorts of things, and that's good to see. You hate to see them start a homestand this way.
Like that. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if the Giants are going to necessarily be a great team. They do have Verlander going tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
You're going, right?
I'm going. We're going to see. My 12-year-old wanted to see Verlander pitch, so we're going.
I love that. Yeah.
We'll be rooting hard for the Phils and Verlander to get lit up, but you never know. So yeah. So it'll be tough. That'll be a tough game again tomorrow.
Yeah. It's been really disappointing to be able to watch them. They got shut out twice in St. Louis, and it's just the offensive struggles. It's tough to see, especially because you have such high expectations. Now they are okay. There's it's 16 games in, right?
Yes.
So everybody kind of does need to relax on social media and whatnot. But I do get it. It is frustrating to watch.
Yeah, they're not going to be lights out the whole season. They did start strong. They won all sorts of series at the beginning, of the year. And nothing to, be upset about. They're still in a good place, but. You got to worry about Brandon Marsh a little bit.
Yes.
A lot of it.
Yeah, a lot of it. Yeah.
A lot of it. He's not hitting anything at all. So you got to worry about that. And I do think being at home will turn things around.
Yeah.
I think they'll end up taking this series, and we'll back off the panic button a little bit.
Yeah, let's hope. All right, let's hear from Rob Thompson.
We haven't played our best baseball, that's for sure. And we need to get better, and we will. We've got a good club, so. And I'm not sure exactly why, but we haven't hit as much as we normally do, but that will change. Just got to keep moving forward.
Yeah, he's not panicked. We shouldn't be panicked.
No.
It's fine. It's
manager speak. I love it.
April 14th, so
very early.
Yeah, we've got some time. All right, let us go to the number real quick because coming up we have a bunch of different stuff to talk about, including, unfortunately, this is the last time we have to talk about the Sixers.
You promise?
I promise. At least for a while. All right, we'll get into that after the break. There's your number. Just put it down. Just put it. Stop.
Can you imagine? We had the Lombardi Trophy in here after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You weren't here that night. It was Jason and I. And then it did make me nervous.
Wait, you had the Lombardi Trophy here?
Yes, we did. Not this year's. It was the one from a couple years ago.
What?
You weren't here. I have a picture. You want me to pull it? You're very angry. I'm so sorry.
Whoa.
I'm so sorry.
You just completely just derailed my existence.
I apologize.
You mean to tell me that not one person said anything to me about the Lombardi Trophy being here at my place of employment? Wow. You know what? At 2.
They're all dead to you, aren't they?
Yeah, that's I gotta sit and I gotta think about that for a hot minute because now I'm heated a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
But
not
the bright
one
note is
person texted me.
none of us broke it.
Yeah.
But what I was pointing out is I was a little nervous.
Yeah, I would be too.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like you also just don't want to be that person, right?
You mean you don't want to be the vice president?
Well,
right.
Yeah.
In this case.
But I mean, there's a ton of different things. Do you remember the Flyers prospect Nick Aube-Kubel.
Oh.
When he dented the Stanley Cup.
You don't want to dent the Stanley Cup.
Do we have that? Huh? He dropped the. There it is.
There we go.
Yeah. There he goes. He just
look
falls
at that.
and then just dents it. And it was banged up after that. I mean, it was truly not a great thing. Oh, and then that's Gronk, of course.
Right.
Why you would do that is beyond me as well. But I mean, it happens more often than you'd think. Especially,
look, I didn't even remember all these. That was a beer can.
Yeah,
Just like
and that
Howie
wasn't
Roseman's
anybody's
face.
fault. That was like
No.
a fan's. Oh my gosh, yeah, Howie's
face
getting ripped. And this was super funny. A couple of years ago, do you remember that? It's the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
That
And it was. I mean, they had that for maybe 5 minutes.
Oh, look at his face.
Yeah, I know. That kid actually who did that was from Kansas City, and I was working in the market at the time. And like the reason why we were showing the game was because Graham Mertz, and he just goes viral for.
Was he okay after that?
He survived, but I mean.
What's funny is these trophies have like the Stanley Cup has the keeper of the cup. Like I've seen the cup right, and they've got the white gloves, and it's a big deal. You know, to the point where you're nervous to be around it, and then it just goes and gets dented.
They treat it so well until it's handed off to the players, and then it's just debauchery.
The players are the problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or the vice president.
Well, apparently, according today, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right. Speaking of problems, let's talk about the Sixers. They
have a problem.
They
don't we?
very blessedly are done for the season. Their last game was, of course, on Sunday, and I don't know. This entire season, somebody described it the other day as a wet fart from the start. And I honestly, I could shout out Dolia, okay? Because that was the perfect fan cam to describe this entire thing.
Ooh,
what do you make of this season? And what was the true struggle? Because in my opinion, I know that they were injured, and I know that like so much had happened, but that's not the only issue at all.
Well, the injuries, that's the name of the game, yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the roster was not put together properly to win because basically you have all these older veteran players that are going to get injured, correct? And Daryl Morey acknowledged that he's got to get younger, and he figured that out a little bit.
Yeah.
But if you look at the big three, the hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars of salary in Maxey and George and Embiid, when they did play together, which was only 15 games this year.
Which is insane.
But they went 7 and 8.
Yeah.
So that tells you that maybe it wouldn't have worked anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, again, because the injuries are a problem. It's like Embiid, it's almost tragic because the guy is such a talent. And I don't think he's never going to be the same. I mean, hopefully this surgery fixes something. Maxey will be back. He'll be okay. George is 35 years old, and they gave him $200 million.
Yeah.
So Maxey and George, $400 million in the offseason, and the Sixers have the 5th worst record in the league. That hurts.
Yeah. Speaking of, you touched on it a little bit. Here is Daryl Morey. Let's take a listen.
I was very focused on finding veteran-type players who, generally perform very well in the playoffs. And I didn't put enough emphasis on the team getting through the regular season. And so next season, for sure, we will be a younger, more dynamic group.
You got to imagine his seat is a little warm.
I think it's interesting that his seat is still there. Personally, I mean, it's one of those things where, when you have issues like this and you go 5-31 over the last 36 games,
right?
It's surprising to hear that Daryl Morey and Nick Nurse are both going to be back.
Yeah.
Isn't
Nurse, Nick Nurse was not the problem, in my opinion. When you have an ever-changing cast of characters and you're basically being told to make chicken salad out of chicken, he was just. I think there's nothing really that he could have done at this season. It was a wash. But Daryl Morey, absolutely, this is his fault, and it's his cross to bear for sure.
And this is it, and he knows it. Like if he doesn't fix it this year,
absolutely,
this is it. So he's going to get younger. And we'll see what happens. Well, he's not getting younger.
Yeah, well,
The team
we
will.
know what you meant.
Yes.
Guys, we want to ask you, your Go Vote question is about the Sixers tonight. What went wrong here in this season? Let's take a look. Pardon?
Is there no-
Yeah. Oh, we don't have the Go Vote, actually.
I was just saying, is there even enough room on the page
if you
for
want to
what went
look,
wrong?
it's fox29.com/Go Vote, and you can weigh in. But there was management was the biggest issue at the,
Last time you looked?
Last time I
Not
looked.
injuries.
So, no. Yeah.
All right.
It was management and the way that this roster was constructed, which I think is actually kind of fair. Do you want to talk about something nice?
Oh, anything
What
other
about
than the Sixers would
what
be
about
wonderful.
Rory McIlroy and the wonderful scene yesterday at the Masters? That is coming up after the break, but right now, there's the number, there's the upload link. Either one of those works. Just send a selfie-style video. We'll be right back.
It's such a battle in your head of just trying to stay in the present moment and just trying to hit this next shot good and then hit the next shot good. And, it just, that was the battle today. My battle today was with myself.
Whew, we are down the stretch. And before we get into our talk about Rory, we do just want to quick toss that Go Vote up because we want you to make sure that you weigh in. So fox29.com/Go Vote or scan that QR code. Yep, and 44% going with coaching and management, which is fair. So anyway, back to Rory. We just wanted to to make sure that you guys could see that. What an incredible moment yesterday.
It really was something. And the drama leading up to it, the fact that he, was in the lead, then lost the lead, and then they go to a playoff.
Yeah.
The playoff added to all of that. And it was the years and the decade plus of him not being able to come through that added to all that emotion. And can you imagine the pressure he was feeling in that moment? That putt looked like a gimme. It did.
Yeah.
I'm not a golfer.
Yeah.
But that putt, that's all those years of near misses and not being able to come through with that green jacket and that being the one that he was missing.
And just look at that moment. I have chills, watching it back again. Just the emotions. I love, Jamie, I don't mean to sound like a sicko, but I love when grown men cry. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's a beautiful
love
thing.
Seeing them just being so overwhelmed, at the Super Bowl when you see these big offensive linemen crying, right? Because they've accomplished the thing that they've always dreamed of. And to see that yesterday, to have that moment was just the most incredible thing. And like I said, I have chills thinking about it now, and I definitely had to someone's cutting onions,
No, and then you saw him with his little girl, 3-year-old, and that's the best part when the families reunite and you see that being able to share that moment with your child, and we've seen that a lot, even locally with some of our teams when they win the Super Bowl, the World Series, and the father-son, father-daughter moments, and it's special. I mean, look, he's overwhelmed with his caddy, and I can't imagine what that must have felt like after all those years of not being able to accomplish that. And then to realize that you did it. It's the relief in that moment, I'm sure.
Oh my goodness. I feel like, what's the quote? I'm a glass case of emotion.
Yeah, it was really, really special to watch.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so great about sports is you never know when you're watching a game when that might happen. I mean, in most cases in these huge moments, but it could be in any mundane game when someone's parent has died or something. And I think I love that the sports is a microcosm in life of life in that way. And it brings up these emotions.
You love to cry though at sports.
I'm a crier.
Yeah.
I'm a crier in all of life.
You love the one shiny moment.
Every year, except for this year. But yeah, that always gets me. Even if I hear the song on the radio, I'm just a mess of tears. I think I cry a little too much in sports. I'm trying to remember when that started. I think Kirk Gibson's home run when I was 10 years old. Oh. When he hit that for the Dodgers, when he gimped up that plate, I think that was the first time I was like, oh, sports can be really emotional.
And now it's just, that's your brand.
You see me in my kids' games? Oh my goodness.
Let's go to the fan cam.
Tiger winning his last Masters back in 2019. As I was on a golf vacation in Myrtle Beach, we had just finished our last round, and we watched the final round in the clubhouse, seeing Tiger come from way back in the pack to take the lead and then hold off some of the top guys in the game. So it was an absolutely exhilarating experience.
The 2008 Phillies World Series was my last real emotional memory. getting to see Utley, Howard, Rollins, and the boys finally get to win the World Series. Having Harry Kalas call all the games was the icing on the cake.
The loss in Super Bowl 39 was kind of my first eye-opening moment to what it was like to be a Philly sports fan, and was really emotional because of that.
Yeah.
That World Series, that Phillies World Series, I remember vividly in 08. After everything kind of calmed down, I was standing on the field, and Jamie Moyer had a million kids, like 5 kids or something, and they dug up the pitching rubber.
Oh.
And they were all on the mound together. And I remember at that moment thinking that was something really special that I was able to sit there and watch. And
yeah,
you see a lot of stuff like that, like you said at the Super Bowl, and in 2018 we had Brian Westbrook and Brian Dawkins jump into each other's arms. And they weren't even part of it.
Yeah.
But it was just, and they were like little kids. And that was
I
really
love it.
something else.
I love just seeing just the raw emotional side of it, and it humanizes these athletes that are a lot of times, they look larger than life, and they're like superhuman, and there they are just having like a very human moment. Anyway, we are going to take our final timeout here. There's the number. There's the upload link. You know what to do. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We are in the end zone as we wrap things up. And Jamie, so what is the plan this week? You are going to the Phillies tomorrow.
Yes. You want my whole plan?
Yeah.
And then Saturday I'm hosting a birthday party.
Oh, wow.
11th birthday party.
You got a bull. You got a mechanical bull.
I've got a mechanical bull. If anyone wants to come over to my house, and for those of you, my neighbors that are watching, yeah. It'll be like 20, 30, 11-year-olds in a mechanical bull. No biggie.
Yeah, so you have yourself a week ahead of you.
It's gonna be great.
I can't wait to hear about it. Oh, wait. I'm not going to be here. I'm on vacation. I don't know. Not me. Jason. You have to tell Jason about it.
I'll tell him all about the bull.
Make sure that you send me some pics, though.
You got it.
I'll
Have
see it
fun
when
on
I'm on
your
the
trip.
cruise. All right. Bye, y'all. We'll see you tomorrow.